Welcome to the State Farm Postgame Show.
Well, lots to catch you up here as we go through Sunday in Week 9. Welcome to State Farm Postgame Show. Julian Edelman joining us here for the highlights. And there's been a lot of upsets so far here. Let's start with Detroit hosting Minnesota.
All right, J.J. McCarthy returns after missing 5 games with an ankle injury. A big day today, 2 touchdown passes. Beautiful catch here by Jefferson, who had 6 for 47 yards on the day. That's a 10-yarder. We're tied at 7 all of them. McCarthy keeps it, takes it in from 9 yards out. Nice job by him. Everybody drops off, and he takes it. There you go, Minnesota on the road, 27-24 over division rival Detroit Lions.
Yeah, Minnesota gets back to 500. What a day for McCarthy. He missed those 5 games, comes back, throws 2 touchdown passes, and gets a conversation with another former Michigan quarterback, Tom Brady, as the LFG player of the game.
Today's LFG player of the game, J.J. McCarthy. Great performance by you guys coming on the road. What is it about the state of Michigan where you're able to come in here and perform like the way you do?
You know, it's a great state, and there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears shed in this state. Yeah. And, you know, it's always great seeing the old fans and the old relationships that you kind of continue along the way. And, you know, it's just a great atmosphere. The crowd was electric, and we definitely fed off that tonight.
Yeah, they sure were. You guys did so many things to kind of stunt their momentum in special teams. But how did you feel missing the last 5 games, coming out here? How did you find your rhythm here early in the first half? I thought it was a great first half you played.
I really appreciate it. It was all about just, you know, focusing on the little things, focusing on the things I can control. The procedure in and out of the huddle, the procedure at the line of scrimmage. How's my footwork? How's the decision making, the ball security? All those little things just prevent all the anxiety and nerves, because I just get to go out there and focus on, you know, the things I can control and, you know, see what happens at the end of this thing, and turned out our way.
Yeah, you did a great job in the last throw of the game sealing first down to Naylor on the sideline. Just talk me through that throw and the decision to make such a great throw.
I saw Speedy was one-on-one, and it was a matter of time for him to get that moment, and I knew he was ready for it, so I just popped it up for him and let him do the rest. The offensive line did a tremendous job blocking, and Coach O'Connell called a great play. So just tremendous, you know, respect and honored that he trusted me in that moment, and we got it done. So, yeah, it was great.
Great job. You guys are back to 500, resets the whole division. Congratulations. Enjoy the flight home.
Thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate it.
There you go.
It took more than just a way to play from Tom Brady. Your impression of not only the way McCarthy played, but the offensive game plan, knowing he was coming back from injury?
Well, first of all, very impressed because he had not played well prior to his injury, then laying off 5 weeks, and watching Wentz play, and then basically being forced back in, maybe early. I doubt it, though, but I was very impressed today. He showed a lot of poise. I always tell Howie, I always look at their footwork. You heard him talk about the little things. Those are the things you look at. Their happy feet. You're not comfortable in the pocket. You're not trusting people around them. And I thought today, very calm. I thought getting him out of the pocket was smart. Tried to run the football, but the big catch by Jefferson, the one-hander, and start the game off, that'll settle a young quarterback down.
Much smoother than I think he's ever looked, really. And special teams, you know, Tom talked about the job they did in special teams. Their defense, Brian Flores brought the pressure, and it was a lot of.
It was coming.
Those linebacker X kind of stunts in the middle. They brought pressure. They were never really comfortable. He was never really comfortable. They got 5 sacks today. I think that was big. I think the offensive line played better. Were they great? No, they gave up 5 sacks. But
yeah, I think J.J. McCarthy, once again, that last 4-minute drive, that's a tough drive. And just to reiterate to people, it's so hard when you're in the developmental process of your career, and to miss five weeks. Those guys aren't coming. He's not coming back playing week 2 guys. He's playing mid-season form guys, and he hasn't had any reps with the offense. That was a really impressive game by J.J. McCarthy. I was really impressed.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the stat line. It's not like it jumps off the chart, but he made the throws he needed to make, made the plays he needed to make, ran when he needed to run. The running game was over 100 yards of rushing, so that really helped. And I got to say, for a young guy to step up, it really was impressive to watch him because you know you're going to Detroit. It's a tough place to play.
Game.
Big division game against a team that's one of the hottest teams in the league, one of the hottest defenses in the league. He did get sacked 5 times, but they got 5 sacks. We kind of balances stuff out. But he had such incredible composure for a young guy on the road in such a big game.
And the key you said was when they needed to make a big play, he made it. And then your quarterback, you want to say, oh, my guy can make the play when I need it. And that's huge. That pass, that last pass, that thing of beauty.
All right, so Minnesota wins in Detroit. The NFC North got very interesting today because of what happened to the leader, Green Bay, as they were home taking on the Carolina Panthers. Talk about making plays when you need to.
All right, Tucker Kraft, tied in, helped off in the third quarter with a leg injury. Under ball handling up inside, Josh Jacobs goes for a 1-yard score. We're tied up at 13-all. I don't think any of us realized we'd see a 13-all game. But with 1 second left, and Ryan Fitzgerald nails the 49-yard field goal, and Carolina on the road with Dowdle, their running back, getting 130 yards rushing on 25 carries. Carolina in a stunner. Definitely a stunner, 16-13. I don't care who you are. I did not see that happen.
Green Bay favored by 13.5 going in. They wind up losing. And this Carolina team, they started out 0-2. Suddenly they're 5-4. It's kind of turned the corner right here. But, you know, Howie, when you start to look at this, I think most people are going to see Green Bay just missed an opportunity today in most people's mind.
Yeah, in most people's minds, but as you mentioned, you know, Carolina's been kind of, you know, number one, they made the decision. Look, our number one back is Dowdle. You know, I mean, and they were trying to pay homage to a guy who was the guy last year, got injured, and Dowdle steps in, and he's just dominant. He's been dominant every week. I think you have to feed him. I think, you know, Green Bay was perplexing today. Love was, I think he was cavalier at times with his throws. They seem kind of, you know, just flatline a little bit.
Well,
I don't know what
Yeah. It was kind of like they came to the game and said, you know, like we were saying pregame show, which I knew I should have picked Carolina. But
and
they
you talked to me about it. I knew you were close.
No, but they were seriously. Just be quiet, Howard. Philly, you're playing Philly next week. These guys are looking at Carolina and go, oh, yeah, they won 5 or 4 games in a row. And it was Carolina.
Got them at home.
No, we got them at home. No way they're going to come in here and beat us. Next thing you know, you're getting punched in the mouth, and you don't know how to all of a sudden pick it up. And it's not that easy. We see it all the time in the NFL, where teams get out there, they think, oh, it's just going to happen. And then when it's not happening, you think you're just going to pick it up. Jordan Love just could never get any rhythm, couldn't get himself going.
That throw.
I don't know. The good thing that that's why he's a DB, because if he could catch, he'd have been a receiver.
Carolina's D's playing.
Carolina D is playing. Carolina's team is playing better. The run game is a catalyst for everything. I mean, Bryce Young threw for 102 yards. If you were to look at that, you would think, no way a team's going to win on the road. But that D in the running game was pretty incredible.
Let me ask you.
Do you care that he threw for 102 yards? They win.
No, who cares? Jules, someone says, well, they're overlooking him. You know, you got to take everybody serious, and that's about as good an example as that coach is going to be able to use.
1,000%. They're going to be able to get coached this week. And going back to them being the young team, I feel like I've heard that for the last 4 or 5 years. They got to start growing up, because you look at their other loss, they lose against Cleveland. They were 8.5 points favors in that game.
Interception at the end of the game.
Interception at the game. So, like, they gotta grow up, and they got to grow up fast. And another bad thing, they lose Tucker Kraft. That could be a big loss going into the rest of the season. We'll see where it goes from there. But
well, here's the thing, too. Detroit lost.
Lost.
And that's huge in the division. They had a chance there to win.
You're right about that, the whole young team thing. Because pretty soon you wake up, like all of us woke up one day and we were old men.
Yeah. We're not that young.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not that young.
I'm young.
And not at heart. So
where you going with this,
what
Mike?
I'm saying is, you wake up one day and all of a sudden you're the older team in the
window
league,
is closed.
And your window has closed. So they need to take advantage of where you have all the young, talented players. You got to get it together. You have to have somebody who's a leader to remind guys, no matter what, we show up with a certain level, a certain standard, and we do not deviate from that.
Howard kept saying flatline. He's too calm. I like to feel more out of my quarterback.
I like calm, but I want to see some. I want to see some dog. I want to see some dog in that.
You look at the
out of here,
NFC North standings. Three of the 4 teams have 5 wins.
Yeah.
The other one, Minnesota, they've got 4. This thing is going to go down the stretch. We talked about Green Bay taking on Philadelphia next weekend. Their former quarterback trying to pull the upset today, taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Could Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers do it at home? Also, it was a rough finish for the Houston Texans. They lost their quarterback, but could they hang on against the Broncos? We'll talk about all that and more. We continue on the State Farm postgame show right here and get you inside some of the happy locker rooms around the NFL. Stay tuned. Next Sunday, make sure you join us for our annual tradition as Fox NFL Sunday honors our nation's veterans with our Salute to Service show. It's always our favorite show of the year as we spend time with those that have protected our country. It's a very special 2-hour show starting at 11 a.m. Eastern as we honor our veterans on Veterans Day weekend. But right now, more highlights here from Week 9, where the Denver Broncos are trying to make it 6 straight wins.
C.J. Stroud, fine young quarterback for the Houston Texans, leads this game. Had to go into concussion protocol. Then Bo Nix finally gets it going down the right side, finds Harvey, R.J. Harvey with a 27-yard touchdown. They would get the 2-point conversion. We're tied at 15 all. Then with 3 seconds left, Will Lutz nails his 34-yard field goal, and the cardiac kids, that's what we should call them, Denver Broncos on the road, 18-15 over the Houston Texans.
Yeah, the Broncos are 4-0 on the season when trailing going into the fourth quarter. They pull out another one, their quarterback with Allison Williams.
Bo, congratulations. This team finds a way yet again. You're no stranger
to quarterback in the league.
To wild finishes and fourth quarter comebacks. What did this game require?
Well, all 3 phases of the game and all 4 quarters. So we're excited. We just find ways to win. Our defense played great again. And offensively, we wasn't pretty the whole game, but we found a way to score more points.
When you get the ball back with 50 seconds left in a tie game, what's going through your mind?
Just get in field goal range or score. We knew Will's range, and we just had to get far enough down the field against a good defense with limited time, and I thought we did a good job managing that situation. We had a couple key third downs and then just got it on our legs, so it was good.
This team has now won 6 in a row, and again, finding a way in the fourth quarter. What is it about the makeup of this Broncos team that allows you to win these close games?
Well, I think we just got a lot of character. We got a lot of competitive guys. We don't ever feel like we're out, and we were down majority of the game today, and we just kept clawing, kept fighting. Our defense kept getting us the ball back. We played a little bit of a field position game there at the end, and we made enough plays to get the field goal at the end. So it just, like I said, takes all 3 of our phases lately, and defense played great today, and like I said, we just did enough.
Thanks, Bo. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
It's an amusement ride at Disney World. I mean, my gosh, it's a late game heroics for them. Bo Nix, there was some good, there was some bad. Certainly the 2-point conversion was big. The Harvey throw was big. Some of the runs were big. The pick was, he's so up and down, and some of the movement throws were off. That was a key, but their defense played well. Rarely do you survive a game in Houston with that defense turning the ball over twice.
1,000%. You got to say one thing about Houston. They made it tough on them. And that secondary, there was like 4 or 5 balls that Bo Nix threw where you just saw a defender come out of nowhere and bat it down. So Houston, it was a tough loss. You lose your quarterback early on. They were starting to get a little steam from last week. And then the Bo Nix and the cardiac cardiac warrior goes out in fourth quarter. They're just comfortable being uncomfortable.
Well, everybody up here said, well, they're going to win it the fourth quarter. Yeah. Because they always do. That's what they do. Yeah. That's who they are.
It's got to age you.
Let me ask you this.
I mean, if I'm Sean Payton.
Michael, Broncos, 6 straight wins. They're 7-2. So is New England. So is Indy. But would you say Denver's the best team in the league right now, or would you take one of those others?
No, they're not the best team in the league.
Well, Indy lost today to the Steelers.
Indy can lose, but
New England barely beat.
It's more than just how many games you lost. It's the way in which you lost and the way in which you won. I mean, they could have easily have lost 4 games this year that they've, scored 33 against the Giants in the fourth quarter. Hard to do. You can't continue to live on the edge like that. Right. So I applaud them for being the team that can fight to the end and come back and do all those things, but I don't feel like it's sustainable. If you're going to look at the best team in the league, especially in that division, You're going to have to go watch KC. You're going to have to watch Buffalo. You're going to have, Rams in Seattle. I know you love Rams in Seattle, Howie.
Well, a team that we thought was the best team, at least had the best record going into Week 9, the Indianapolis Colts. They got a number put on them in Pittsburgh.
Well, I tell you what, Steelers probably are tired of hearing about how poorly their defense has been playing, giving up almost 30 points a game. Here, Daniel Jones, who threw for 342, a touchdown, and had 3 interceptions, is picked by Peyton Wilson. He returns to 17 yards. And then this would lead, right, there you go, Rodgers to Fairmouth, the tight end on a 12-yard touchdown. Good read by Fairmouth, seeing the safety. He slowed it down so Rodgers could gun it in there. Pittsburgh at home, 27-20, somewhat of a surprise. There's probably the most versatile guy in the National League. That's Christian McCaffrey. He had 106 rushing today, 67 receiving. That receiving touchdown, it was a nice job by Mac Jones, too, quarterback out of Alabama. Hands off here to McCarthy, goes in from 3 yards out. San Francisco 34, the New York Giants 24. Justin Herbert, fine young quarterback out of Oregon, leads the NFL in passing yards through Week 8. Threw for 250 today and a couple of touchdowns. Here he finds Quentin Johnson. Gorgeous corner route. Just enough room to get it over the corner's head. A 19-yard score. Chargers win 27-20. Moving right on, here's our guy, Drake May, 2 touchdowns, 260 yards passing, but he also had 6 sacks. But a great job here by Stephon Diggs. He goes inside, fights outside, touchdown, 21-7 New England. Back comes Atlanta and Michael Penix, young quarterback here, going for 3 touchdowns on the day. Oh, and then there it is. Romeo misses the kick. The Patriots misses. Can you imagine missing the kick to tie this game? Well, he does. New England 24-23. Over Atlanta. Now you talk about a shocker. How about Flacco? Passing, looking, firing down the middle. There it is to Joseph, a 9-yard touchdown. Post route, Cincinnati 42-41. But just a few seconds left. In come the Bears. There is Colston Loveland, the tight end. He makes this catch and goes 58 yards for the touchdown. They didn't get the 2-point conversion. Mattered not. Bears 47. And a stunner is the Cincinnati Bengals 42. And how about Flacco? 4 touchdown passes today, 470 yards passing.
Hey, how about J.J. McCarthy? He's our State Farm moment of the day. 3 total touchdowns and a big road win over the Detroit Lions as he gets the Vikings back to 500 and within a game in the win column of first place in the NFC North. So don't write them off just yet. Much more to come here as we continue on the State Farm post-game show. I want to talk to you. And, Jules, we talked about it in the pregame show, this Pittsburgh defense. Usually you can count on it. Not this year. Suddenly they show up. You got Indy, who's got the best record in the league, the best offense in the league, the highest scoring team. 6 turnovers, 5 sacks by Pittsburgh's defense.
This is exactly what you thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year, especially with how much money they've invested into this defense. So this is what you want to see from the Pittsburgh defense. Aaron Rodgers has been playing this way all year. He hasn't been throwing it crazy deep down the field, but he's been dinking and dunking you and playing well in situational football. They've had some good stuff in the red area. The big tight end has become a favorite. What's his name? Washington.
Big dude.
300 pounds, 600. I mean, this guy's big.
600.
He's not a sumo wrestler.
I was going to say 6'10". I was going to say 6'10" or something. But this is what you expected of Pittsburgh going into the season. It just took them a little long to get it going, and that's a huge win to go out and beat the #1 offense and a hot offense in Indy that they've had.
And try to stay ahead of this Baltimore team that a lot of people think may be catching up to them. Howie, let's talk about Chicago. I mean, they scored 47 points. They had to score 47 points to win, but they did it. Now they've won 5 of their last 6.
Yeah, the thing we talked about in the pregame is the defense has been, compensating for, I'm not sure that they're a good defense, but they've gotten a lot of turnovers. And you can't live on a steady diet of that. I think Williams played well. I think the run game, 283 yards on the ground. That's what you want to see. You want to see Williams progress. Loveland, their first-round pick, the tight end. You're waiting to see him become kind of more an explosive player in that offense. But their defense, they need a pass rush. I think they need to get better on defense.
I mean, just a quick button on that. A lot of points. I mean, 89 points in this game. But if you're Chicago, you're up. All of a sudden, you lose that lead. But to have the wherewithal and the fight to come back and win it. the way in which they did shows a lot about this team, the confidence that's building there.
DeAndre Swift out with an injury. They put in Kyle Monangai, 176 yards on the ground. They're celebrating in the Bears locker room. We'll get inside some of the other celebratory locker rooms as well.
Just dream with me a little bit. Get us to high-stakes games, and you guys will do it, okay? I believe in this group. You guys believe in each other. You just kept battling and battling.
I said this to you. Hear me out. There's a way to win each one of these games. Hey, there's a way to win each one, and oftentimes they're different. We needed it. Look, we needed it. At the end, we got it.
We are 2-0 in the NFC North, and in both games I finished handing the football. All right, the last game ball to this guy. And that same thing goes for you. It's been a long road back. Nobody wants to be on the grass more than you. This team is riding with you. All right, riding with you. You're going to bring this down. You're going to...
McCarthy in a trance there?
Like Halloween, man.
He was locked into it. Let's get your final thoughts, starting with you, Julian.
Yeah, how about these Patriots starting 7-2? I think the preseason over and under for them was 4.5. Drake May, I talked about him being an MVP in the midseason. He went 19 for 29, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, did have an interception, did have 6 sacks. But to go out in that last drive in that 4-minute situation where they needed to get a first down and they get the first down, that's a great situation for a young football team trying to build.
I'm going to go Carolina Panthers. They haven't gotten a lot of love in a lot of years, so you just got to give them some love to go on the road, beat a good Green Bay team who possibly could argue be the best in the league on the road and being second in the division. Congratulations to those young guys.
Yeah, NFC North is just kind of muddled up a little bit more. Detroit loses today to the Vikings. Vikings kind of one game out of that kind of race. And Green Bay also drops a game today.
I'm going to go with Leveland, the Bears. Great job by that young tight end, but primarily Pittsburgh's defense creating 6 turnovers today, shockingly, because they have not played well. But today they look like the old Steeler defense that we're used to seeing.
All right, we're done with our coverage here in Week 9. Keep in mind we got our special Veterans Day show starting 2 hours before kickoff next Sunday. But coming up right here next on Fox, it's a very special episode of the drama Doc. Here's your play of the day, brought to you by Chevy.
Quick throw, McCarthy going end zone. Jefferson, one-hander, touchdown, Minnesota.
Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. For NFL news and highlights, go to NFL.com.